name's Todd Henderlong. I, with my wife, own T&H Timing. We also own a running store in Valparaiso, Indiana called The Extra Mile. We're a little unique in regards to most people that got into timing actually owned running stores and started putting on events and then started a timing business as a result of that. We started the timing business 15 years ago and just recently opened the store about 2 years ago, so we've kind of gone the other direction. The landscape of timing over the past 15 years. I'm sure you remember tearing tags and manually timing races we used a time machine, which was a little adding machine thing, and you tagged in the numbers, and as people came through the chute, you pulled their tag off, and you recorded the place of that tag, and then it all merged all the times together and worked great. And for our big races, our big Thanksgiving Day races, where you had a couple thousand people, you had a finish chute that moved. So when the finish chute filled up, you started another finishing chute, and you filtered people through, and then you kind of put all the tags on fishing stringers or coat hangers, and it was a thing of beauty until one day somebody dropped one and they all flew off in the wind. That was timing in the old days, and then came along championship. The chip that changed everything, and it kind of paved the way for the instant results, where now we spit out results right away. I laugh, when I started racing, when you wanted to see your finish results, we waited till Wednesday because that's when they were put in the newspaper. You get your Wednesday newspaper, you open it up and you saw your place and your time. Oh, I won my age group. Now that chip timing came along and it allowed us to process things right away, and it paved the way for the mega races. 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 participant races. That's when we got into the chip timing business. We started doing races with 5,000 people and decided there's got to be a better way to do this. Invested in some timing equipment, and it scares me now that I have more money tied up in timing equipment than I do in my house and my cars. So as I tell the kids, if the house is on fire, get the equipment out. Let the house burn, just get the equipment. A lot of people ask, where's the timing business going? And it's really kind of unique because when we got into it, there were 2 or 3 systems you could purchase. You could either go with Championship, you had to rent your chips from them for each event. You had an event, you rented chips from them. You paid them $1 or $2 per person. And then came along the Prototracks and the IPCOs of the world, and for the first time there was an alternative. There was the option where you could own your own reusable chips, so you still had a pretty heavy upfront cost, but you could kind of minimize your overhead costs as the race went on. And then came the advent of the disposable chips, and that's when the arms race started. And it was a big race to say, okay, who could get the first disposable chip that you could put on your bib number? So no longer would you have the human error of somebody forgetting to put their chip on their leg or wearing it around their wrist or whatever. It was, we're kind of idiot-proof racing. And so all you have to do is wear your bib number, which you would think is a pretty simple process. Which it's not. Well, now everybody's wearing a disposable chip. And you can buy a chip for a couple pennies, and it's made being a race timer as far as an overhead, a lot easier, a lot less expensive. And with the advent of that, technology has come now these little tiny race timing manufacturer companies. And you can go and look and you can find some companies that will say, we can sell you a really inexpensive down and dirty timing system for a couple $1,000, $6,000, and you can buy your tags for $1 and you can be a timer. And that's kind of the landscape of what we're seeing right now.